Okay, so I'm going to recap on these because they are so important. Is you as the fiduciary of the plan, which is the IRA owner, cannot do business together, nor can anyone else considered a fiduciary. If you've got an accountant that works with you, that could be considered a fiduciary. The title company that's doing work on the plan, that could be considered a fiduciary. So anybody involved in the money aspect of the plan, us as the administrator is considered in a separate sense a fiduciary. So we cannot do business with what you're buying and selling in the plan. Okay, we can't put ourselves in the middle of that. An employer of employees covered by a plan. Now this is more for 401ks, but all these rules fall under the ERISA Act, and the Department of Labor manages these. This is the 4975 that I talked about earlier, is actually DOL, Department of Labor, ERISA law that dictates all these rules. So it's the same for employers and employees, such as 401k plans, as well as individual IRAs. So employers have employees covered by the plan. And I'll give you an interesting story about this and this ERISA law that came about because of this situation. Actually, the old law used to be called TIRA. And under TIRA, you may have heard of a man named Jimmy Hoffa. And back in 1973, Jimmy Hoffa, as the president of the Teamsters Association, gave about a $50 million loan of the members of the Teamsters, their money, to a hotel owner called Morris Shanker, who owned the Dunes Hotel in Las Vegas. I happen to know the Shankers. I happen to know everybody involved in this. I was born and raised in Vegas. My father was the corporate attorney for the Dunes Hotel, and so I was kind of intimately involved in all this mess without being involved in the mafia, which was nice, because that's a different mess. But this loan came about, and Shanker and the Dunes never repaid this loan. They built this for any of you out there that are probably over 65. If you remember the old Dunes Hotel in Las Vegas, remember they built this god-awful round neon thing in front of the hotel called the Oasis with neon palm trees. It was just horrible. But that supposedly was what the $50 million went to, was that god-awful casino called the Oasis, and then some upgrades in the rooms. So when that money didn't come about, of course, two things happened. One is Jimmy Hoffa disappeared, and the other thing is that the government got involved and stopped the unions or anybody that controls employees' funds inside of a pension plan from being able to personally decide where those investments went. They had to be through qualified investment advisors, and there had to be certain fiduciary requirements and certain things like that. But that's where ERISA came about, was that whole Dunes and Jimmy Hoffa thing, is where that started. All right, now family members, spouse, ascendants, and lineal descendants, and any spouse of a lineal descendant. So when I talk about lineal family members and you have a daughter or son, so it's not only that, let's say daughter, it's not only that daughter, but her spouse is also considered is a disqualified person. And you can't do business through that spouse. Anyone providing services to the plan, that's kind of where we come in as the third-party administrator. An employee organization whose members are covered by the plan. That, again, is union type of stuff there. Okay? So that gives you an idea of what disqualified persons and entities are.